If you live in the USA, you need to watch this video if you're interested in learning how to trade cryptocurrency. If you look up what exchanges you're actually able to sell on in the United States, it'll come up with all these different exchanges. Literally the only one you're able to trade in is Coinbase, and you can't even do leverage trading. I'm going to show you an exchange where you can do leverage trading, and also I'm going to break down some excellent tactics that I use to make 40 grand a month in crypto trading, which I even specified how I did that in this video here. And this is the tutorial on how to set up the crypto exchange I'm going to talk to you guys about in this video. I'll also leave this link to this video if you are interested in setting up this crypto exchange. It's completely free. You can do it if you're in the USA, and you can use leverage in your trading account, which allows you to take, if you only have $1,000, you can do a 10x leverage, and that will allow you to play with, in essence, $10,000. There is a bit more risk into that, which I can cover in just a minute. But with all the crackdown in the USA on cryptocurrency and trading, you're no longer able to leverage trade on any of these exchanges. I used to use Bybit, KuCoin, MEXC, and now the main account I'm using is called BYDFi. Like I said, the full tutorial on setting up BYDFi will be in this video that I will have linked down below for you guys. I show you step-by-step how to deposit funds straight from your bank account into an onboarding exchange like Coinbase, and then send it over to BYDFi, where there's no KYC, which is know your customer. So you don't have to put in any of your personal information, your driver's license, nothing. Technically, you're anonymous, which is one of the main reasons people get into cryptocurrency in the first place. So this whole video is there for you on how to get set up. In this video, I will show you how I can actually put in a trade here real quick. And also I'm going to break down some of my favorite trading tactics that have made me this kind of money. And these are going to be very simple for you guys to understand. So if you're brand new to this, the first thing you need to know is that the exchange is just where you're actually going to place your orders. I put in $100 into this bonus wallet just to give you an example of how this can work. But this is the exchange where you place your orders. It's not where you actually do your charting. What you're going to want to have is also TradingView. If you see my URL, it's TradingView. I'll leave that link down below for you as well. It's a free account to get. And this is where you can set up watch lists with all the different cryptocurrencies you want to take a look at. I'm scoping out Bitcoin, Solana, a lot of different cryptos here, and I'm watching their movements. And when I flip on my indicators, which is something I'm not able to really use inside of these exchanges, there are some moving averages and things like that. But I have more sophisticated indicators here in TradingView, and I can switch between all these different time frames up at the top. I have the 1 hour chart. I have a 30-minute chart. So basically, every little candlestick here that you see is worth 30 minutes of time. Once I come out to the daily candlestick chart, it looks completely different from the 30-minute or the 15-minute or even the 1-minute chart. Now, you can see in the last few days, 1 day, 2 day, 3 days, in 3 days, this coin right here pumped over almost 200%. You also notice how this candle's kind of resting on this little yellow line here. That's a moving average, which usually will be support or resistance, whether the candles are above or below that specific moving average. So as I zoom in from the 1 day to the 30-minute chart in this particular coin, we see again a very different picture. Really, I only use two main indicators. The first one is completely free, and it's the Trader's Reality Indicator, which you can see right here. Also, when you do set up your actual TradingView account, you can come over to this button, select it, and just type in Trader's Reality. Click on it, and it will be added into your chart just like this. Now, I watch Trader's Reality on YouTube every day. This guy is absolutely brilliant, and he's got a really cool English accent, but he covers macroeconomic trends as well as day trading techniques, and he literally invented this indicator himself, and this guy's making a ton of money. So I'd recommend following this guy. I listen to him almost every day just to brush up on financial trends and get the best edge on my crypto trading. So what this indicator really shows us is, you can see we have this big blue and purple kind of line going through here. That's the 50-day moving average. And then if you look in closer, we have this white line down here. That's the 200 EMA. And we can see right here, it's providing a lot of support for us. Then we have the 5 and 13 EMAs in red and yellow here. Trader's Reality on YouTube will explain this a lot more to you in depth, but you see every time the candlesticks come up to this force field, which is this purple Gaussian channel is what it's called, it gets rejected if it's below it. If it's above it, it usually will act as support. So this is a really good way for you to start catching trends. But you can see down here, this little white line is actually providing some very stable support for us. And that's where I'm able to say, maybe I can take a long trade from here. So I could buy down here, and maybe a short day trade would be just getting up to this maybe blue line, and then I could sell. As we've seen, every time it hits this blue line, we're getting swift rejections down from there. Also, if we come up to this blue line, that's where you can look to take a short position. So I'll show you how to do that again in our exchange in a second, but I'm just breaking down indicators and some of my trading tactics. If the candlesticks are bouncing above any of these moving averages, we're looking at support and to take buy positions as it's bouncing off these EMAs. If we're below it like we are now, we're looking to take short positions if this trend's going to continue down. But that's where time frames come into play. You have to zoom out and look at the macro picture on a daily time frame and see, hey, is this just a little retracement that we're seeing here before it pops up again? And that's what we could tell on a higher time frame, like a daily candlestick chart, where, hey, we're really moving up, but right now we're just seeing a little retracement down before it pops up again. So you don't want to be holding on to your shorts too long if you're in an overall uptrend. But by far what's made me the most money in trading is by using this second indicator. The only other one I use, it's called Market Cipher, which you can see right down here. And I'll give you a brief overview. This is created by CryptoFace on YouTube. This guy literally does live streams and goes live doing $5 million trades, $4 million trades. These are all Bitcoin leverage trade. Extreme leverage, late night scalping. Scalping is where you're taking short-term trades, but you can boost up your leverage so you're playing with a higher amount of money. So even if the chart only goes up a little bit, you could, in essence, make a lot of money in just a very short amount of time. So that's really cool. This guy runs literally 2-hour, 3-hour live streams, as you can see here. So I'm sitting through these sometimes listening for golden nuggets this guy's dropping. But what this indicator does and how I made the most money is by actually looking at divergences. I switched over to Bitcoin so I can give you a really clear idea of what divergences are. This is, again, how I've made the most money trading. What we see is a high put in right here, and then we also see another high right here that's pretty much about the same height. Now the divergence comes into play where we see right here a very high momentum wave, and we see this little red dot clipping up there at the top, and then it's kind of going down, which we saw here, it's going down. But then the divergence is coming into play where we have pretty much a higher high or the same high here, but a lower high on the next momentum wave. That means this wave up, even though it reached the same level or sometimes even higher, the indicator actually made a lower low. So when you have a higher high on price but a lower low on the indicator here, that means that there's a lot of weakness in this next little leg up, which again led to a massive crash down, which this is on the weekly time frame. So it may not look like much here, but that's a 30% drop here in Bitcoin, which is actually very big. And that happened over 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. That's a full month of straight downtrend. And if you caught on to this divergence where you see where this red little dot is, where that happened, that was right at the top. So you could have read that on the weekly chart, seen the divergence, took a sell position, a short, and this thing would have made you a ton of money. And one last thing I want to point out is these very bright colored candles that come with the Trader's Reality Indicator. The bright green candle means that there's a ton of trading volume in there, and it's essentially an imbalance in the chart, which means price is going to come back down at least to halfway of this candle, recover a lot of that liquidity, and then move away from it. And that's exactly what we saw here. You see this little candlestick, this shooting star, came all the way down here to the support line I had in, about halfway of that candle, and then it shot right back up again. The same thing with this bright red candle right there. You see right afterwards, price came and just shot right up and recovered that vector candle. So when there's these vector candles, you can see on smaller time frames, when you see one, price is probably going to quickly come back down, recover that candle, and then move away. So after these vector candles, another great tip for making fast, good money with crypto trading is when you see a crazy candle shoot up, do not buy. That's when you take a short position quickly, after you see this thing shoot straight up, take a short after it's just exorbitantly blowing out of proportion straight up. And then that candle will probably quickly come down quite a bit, recover some of the vector candle, get out of your short position, take your profit, and then look to maybe long and then go back up again. I just popped down into the 5-minute time frame where I'm gonna get more quick data so I can make a sniper-like entry. And I can see we're kind of bouncing here right off that 50 EMA on the 5-minute time frame, and we're going up. So really, I wouldn't want to take a long position right now, especially as you see with Market Cipher, this big green money flow indicator is kind of coming up and it's slowly coming down. As this starts to come down and we're kind of forming these bearish divergences where here we made a high and this is definitely a lower momentum wave, but we made a higher high here compared to down here and we're losing money flow. Well, that probably already played out. This took a nice short down here and then we had a green clip right here and we're starting to move up. So just for this example, I want to follow this uptrend. That's what we're in right now. Then I'd come right back into BYDFi and actually just place my trade after I've done all my looking here in TradingView. So what I can do is actually switch from BTC into my order value being displayed in USDT. That is the stable coin. So it's going to come out for like how many dollars am I able to do here. One quick thing, this leverage, like I mentioned, you see it says cross leverage 20x right here. I'm going to come down and do isolated margins. So the leverage is going to just take place on just this trade. If you use cross leverage, it'll utilize your entire account balance instead of just the money you want to put in this trade. So here we can do 20x. That's very risky. The leverage is, let's do a 5x here. So on this $100 I have, I'm able to play with just about $500, so about 5 times how much I put in. The more leverage you use, the faster it is that you can get liquidated. So on a 10x leverage, if price goes the opposite direction that you want it to by 10%, you will just lose the trade, you'll lose all the money in the trade. That's the only risk that you're playing with leverage. If you do 100x leverage, price only has to move in the direction opposite of your trade by 1% and you'll be totally liquidated in the trade. So if you use lower leverage 3 or 5x, that's going to allow you to have a lot more buffer room in case price goes the wrong way. So I'm just doing a 5x leverage. And when you want to take a trade, there's a few options you can do. You can do a limit price where you can actually set the price. So let's say I go to sleep. I'm expecting Bitcoin to crash or something. And I'm going to say I want this order to be placed only when Bitcoin hits 66,782. Right now it's at 67,400 just about. So that's about a $1,000 decrease. And if the price crashes down, you can have these long orders set in there. And if it hits that, it's probably already made it a long way down and it's going to reverse back up and you'll wake up in profit, which happens to me a lot of the time. Now, if I want to actually just make a market order and just place the order as fast and quick as possible, I can press market and I can press long. So let's see, the trade just said success up there. And now I can come right down here and see how the trade is doing. So I only used $80 worth of my money, but with the 5x leverage, it's playing with $400 essentially that's in the trade. And this is my entry price. This is my liquidation price. So you see price would have to go over $10,000 down in Bitcoin for me to actually lose my $80 in this trade. I can see the percentage gain and I can see the amount of money I've earned. Again, only playing with $500 in this trade with Bitcoin, you're going to need Bitcoin to move quite a bit for me to make a substantial amount of money. But like I said, if you have higher leverage or you're just playing with more money, I could do a $5,000 trade on a 5x leverage. That would be playing with $25,000. Then even if Bitcoin moves $100 or $200 in either direction, you're making $50 to $100 or something in profit. So that's kind of how this is going. When I want to close this trade, I can close it by a market or a limit order. I'm up 15 cents right now. I can say market close and I will take the full amount and take my little 16 cents profit. Boom, the trade is done. I have just secured my profit. That's how in and out I can be. I can trade other cryptocurrencies and I do this under USDTM when you're in BYDFi. You can see there's Bitcoin, Ethereum, there's 1 inch, there's all these other crypto coins that you can trade. There's so many in here. So you can trade any coin you want and you can chart it right here within TradingView. So that's what I would say, guys. If you want to get the Market Cipher Indicator, I'll have the link to that below. CryptoFace, Traders Reality, these are the 2 YouTube channels I mainly watch. Go watch my actual tutorial on how to set up BYDFi if you need it. And that's pretty much all I have for you in this video. I hope you enjoyed. Smash the thumbs up and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.